When you think about self-storage, you probably picture something pretty boring, right? Just a bunch of metal doors in a row. But what if I told you that behind those roll-up doors, there's a whole world of drama, high-stakes strategy, and some really cool tech? Well, today, we're going to unlock some of those secrets.
So let me ask you this. What's the worst you think can happen at a storage unit? Maybe you forget to pay your bill. Maybe some of your stuff gets a little moldy. For the people who actually own these facilities, the reality is, well, it's way more intense. The things they deal with day to day are things you would probably never even imagine.
And get this was a real story that people in the industry were actually talking about. Just think about that for a second. But for the owner of that facility, the first thought isn't just, wow, how did that happen? It's, oh no, what happens now?
And what happens now is a lawsuit for false imprisonment. You see how one single, totally bizarre incident reveals the kind of massive, unexpected risks these operators face? This is exactly why those boring daily walks around the property are absolutely non-negotiable. They are literally the first and last line of defense against pure chaos. So, let's dive into our first section, the drama in the storage unit. And yeah, we're talking about a lot more than just dust bunnies here. Beyond these totally shocking one-off events, operators are constantly juggling a whole range of high-stakes situations. This isn't just a business about renting space. It's a business of nonstop risk management. I mean, just take a look at this list. These might seem like something straight out of a movie, but trust me, industry veterans have seen it all. Tenants starting fires inside their units to stay warm, floods, and my personal favorite, a tenant suing for the loss of climate control after a tornado ripped the roof clean off the building. Seriously, you can't make this stuff up.
But, managing disasters is only half the battle. The other half is fighting for every single customer in a market that is getting more and more crowded. And that brings us to section 2, old school versus new school, the storage wars.
And this slide just captures the core challenge perfectly. Okay, picture this. You're running this older, kind of Motel 6 style facility. It's been there for a while, it's reliable, it gets the job done. But then, boom. Right down the street, this gleaming Hilton of a storage facility opens up, all shiny and new with perfect climate control. How in the world do you compete when you can't win on looks and amenities? Well, you have to get smart.
And this is exactly how they do it. This is the underdog's playbook. First, you just embrace being the best value in town. You're not the Hilton, so don't even try to be. Second, you make smart, targeted upgrades. We're talking a fresh coat of paint, better security cameras. Third, you go hyper-local with your marketing. And finally, you turn your current happy customers into your best salespeople with a solid referral program. It's a scrappy but absolutely brilliant strategy.
All right, let's move on to section 3, the unseen collection game. Because it doesn't matter how great your facility is or how many customers you have, you still have to actually get paid. And let me tell you, collecting late rent is one of the biggest, most frustrating headaches in this entire business.
So operators are getting really creative. They're moving way beyond just making a few phone calls. They're setting up these automated systems of texts and emails because, let's be honest, people start ignoring the main office number pretty quickly. Some even create a whole separate collections department identity. It's this clever psychological trick to signal, hey, things are getting serious now. It's time to pay up.
And this quote from an operator really just drives home how tough this all is. Getting to $0 past due, even for 1 month at one property, is so incredibly rare that it's a moment you have to literally take a picture of. It's like spotting a unicorn. It just doesn't happen. All of this, the security issues, the intense competition, the collections nightmare, it all leads us right here. Section 4, the tech takeover. Because, without a doubt, the single biggest shift happening in this industry is the explosion of new technology. And this tech is specifically designed to solve the very problems we've been talking about.
You know those automated phone systems you use to pay your utility bill? Well, they're a total game changer in self-storage. By routing all those payment calls to an automated system, managers are freed up to actually manage the property instead of being stuck on the phone all day. One company processed a staggering $160,000 in payments through their IVR in a single month. Next up, we've got gate access apps. Seems super convenient, right? Open the gate right from your phone. But here's the catch. We all have what you might call app fatigue. I mean, how many apps are on your phone right now? Do you really want to download yet another one just for your storage unit? It's a real challenge for these operators.
But this is the real next frontier. We're talking smart locks. Imagine being able to grant access to your storage unit to a family member or maybe a mover from halfway across the country just using your phone. It completely changes the game. But like with any cool new tech, actually rolling it out isn't always so simple.
And this slide really lays out the huge dilemma. If you're building a brand new facility, putting in smart locks is a total no-brainer. You just build the cost right into the rent. But what if you have an existing facility that's already full of tenants? It becomes a logistical nightmare and, as one operator put it, a ridiculously expensive proposition.
So, where does all of this leave us? Well, I think the big takeaway is that the simple, boring storage unit isn't so simple anymore. It's actually become a really complex, high-stakes, tech-driven business. Behind that unassuming metal door, there's a whole world of risk, marketing strategy, and cutting-edge technology all at play. So the next time you find yourself looking for a place to store your stuff, what are you going to ask about? Will it just be the price? Or will you maybe ask about the tech, the security, the strategy behind it all? Because in the surprising world of self-storage, what you don't see is very often what matters most.